Good evening, beautiful people. I welcome you to my chit chats. So, I think really we'll see where it goes, right? Who knows where it goes. But what keeps coming to mind is to believe. And I can't remember how long ago it was, but a long while ago. I say a long while, maybe like a year ago. I noticed one of my kids saying, I don't believe in magic. Magic is not real. And I was like, well, but you're a kid. Like, what do you mean magic isn't real? Magic is real. And it kept bothering me. And I was like, well, I'm going to prove it to him. I'm going to prove that it's magical. Life is magical. And it was just a thought, really. It was a seeded thought that I had seeded in. I'm gonna show him. Did I know how I was gonna show him? Did I know what that even meant at that moment? What that means now? What that will mean later on? Not really, but I knew that it was a goal. But I had to believe it first. Because how am I supposed to sell an idea that I don't believe in? And I always did believe. But you have to know what you want to believe in. And so that's kind of figuring out, what are your beliefs? What do you believe in? What do you believe is possible? What do you want to believe is possible in your life? And just because it's not around you at that moment doesn't mean that there's still not a possibility. There's always a possibility. There's always a way. There's always a way to look at it, right? But I think too is choosing. And I've been in spots where I've not chosen to believe, which is fine. That's what I did at that time. That doesn't mean that I have to be that way forever and just never believe in anything ever again. That's not a thing either, right? So what I believed in before, maybe I don't believe that now. Or maybe what I believed before was under false preference or false ideas or false something, right? So yeah, of course I believed it. I believed in it, believed in the words, but that doesn't mean I have to believe that now with a different perspective and less foggy brain and less rose-colored glasses. I don't have to do that. But going back to the magic of just little things, right? I'm sure I've talked about it before, is just changing that one little thing. One word, change one word. Change one negative word you use every day. Just don't use it. Choose not to use it. Choose not to use it. Thinking about how to have discussions and what to talk about and what to not talk about. Everything has so much more meaning than we put credit to it. If you're in the office lunchroom and they're gossiping about people. Like, that's words, people. Spells. You're just throwing negativity out there. It's like a boomerang. It's always going to come back. And man, I've been there. I've done it. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it again. I have the choice to not do that. So, and that's for everything. You might think you're talking nice about somebody, but you're really talking about the meaning behind it, right? Like, oh yeah, well, I don't even know. Sorry, I don't even have a good example, but whatever. Like, it's all gonna come back. It's all gonna come back. And, so and so didn't do this, but yeah, but so and so always does all of this all the time and nobody notices. Why don't we talk about that instead of the one thing this person messed up on? Right? Like, okay, yeah, that was a problem. Cool. But how do we not do that again? Like, and people just they're like remembered for things that they've done decades ago. Like, I don't know how many places I've worked over decades, and I've known stories about people that the story happened 5 years before I even got there. And people are still passing it around. And I've done it, right? I've been there, I've done it. I've let it go. I've worked on myself. But it's just perpetual. It just keeps happening. So, like, we gotta choose to stop it from happening, right? That's, you just say, can you not do that? Can you walk away? I am totally known for a walk away. If I am not in it, and I realize more so now reasons why I've walked away in the past, because when I put myself back in that same conversation, I'm like, fuck, no wonder I walked away. That was insane. Or, all those times, like divine intervention, where I walked away or moved quickly or quit a job or got a different, you know what I mean? Like, it's all was like totally on purpose. I've totally been guided this whole time, but it's just so crazy to see that all go down, right? Like, anyway, totally lost my train of thought there, but that happens. But back to believing. The more I started believing about this and believing about that, like, that's when the magic comes, is the believing. I believe that there's good people out there, let's say that. It's a pretty big one. And then all of a sudden, oh my goodness, I'm meeting good people, and these good people are doing good things, and I'm like, wow, okay. And then you go and I do this, and I'm like, wow, that person was so helpful. And so willing to help. And so it's kind of like reopening your eyes, or reopening my eyes to all the goodness that is around us. And I think sometimes when you get so stuck in that mindset that you kind of oversee all the goodness, the little things, that's the thing. Magic, it's magic that we wake up every day. Right? It's all how you use the word. Magical moment when someone tells you they thought about you when you weren't around. My son did that the other day. And I was just like, oh my God, thank you for sharing that with me. Like, that in itself was a magical moment, on top of he enjoyed thinking about me. That's why he wanted to share that with me, right? So it's just magical moments then start to be ping pong balls and just ping, 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 ping. And then all of a sudden there's just magic everywhere. But it all goes back to believing. And like everything, it all takes practice. You don't have to believe in everything right away. Because every time you believe in something else, it'll be shown to you that you should believe, and it is magical. And then the magic gets bigger and better and bigger and better. And then that magic turns into miracles. And you're like, wow, I prayed on this, or I meditated on this, or whatever you do, and then it happened. Like, that's a miracle, right? Like, but you have to be open to accepting that that is magical, and that is magical, and that is a miracle. That's why it takes time to get there. And in the society that we're in, you know, the magic gets taken away quite quickly. So it takes time. And for everyone, you never know if you will believe, right? And everybody's on a different path. So somebody might not even be here to experience magic or miracles yet. Maybe that's not on their contract this time around, right? So trying to force someone to believe that as well is not really worth the energy if it's not really even on their contract, right? Also another way to look at it. And it's all those experiences of past lives that kind of help us on other lives. Like, I've always said that this is totally not my first rodeo. 100% not my first rodeo. We're getting there. We're getting close for sure. Don't know yet. I've always said my next lifetime I'm going to be a monk. So we're close. We're close. But I've even said, like, I'm pretty sure I've been like a plant, like a cannabis plant. I'm pretty sure I've been a cow. I've been like nature things, a lot of nature things, I feel. And I'm sure lots of other things. People. I'm sure I've been other people. But we can save that for another discussion. We don't really need to talk about that. So that's the thing, right? Everybody is so on such different journeys, paths, contracts, breaking karma, making karma, breaking contracts, readjusting contracts. Like there's so much that goes on beyond what we can even talk about here or whatever, get into. But yeah, believe. You gotta believe. Believe. Anywho, peace out.